Now at 5 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, the NTSB at the site of that double fatal helicopter crash Monday near Port O'Connor. And authorities have released the names of the 2 people killed in that helicopter crash.
The man accused of stabbing another worker at a restaurant faces charges of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
We are taking a live look out in Cuero. Look, they got a football game going on. It's nice and warm out there. Will it stay like this forever? We'll have your forecast coming up in just a moment.
Plus, we bring you the latest on the 4 Americans kidnapped in Mexico.
You're watching 25 News Now at 5. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for being with us. I'm James Munoz.
And I'm Karina Garcia. The National Transportation Safety Board is investigating the double fatal helicopter crash Monday night near Port O'Connor. An investigator is processing the scene by examining the aircraft. They will request radar data, weather information, air traffic communication, maintenance records, and the pilot's medical records. A preliminary report including factual information is expected in about 15 days.
The Calhoun County Sheriff's Office has released the names of the 2 people killed Monday night in that crash near Seadrift. The man is identified as 56-year-old Dr. Glenn Ide of Bay City. The woman identified as 50-year-old Arcelia Cisneros of Houston. Authorities say it was foggy and it's possible the crash was weather related. Dr. Ide owned the home near where the crash happened. The couple was headed to Bay City. Tuesday would have been Cisneros' birthday. Now, Dr. Ide worked at Matagorda Regional Medical Center. They released a statement saying, "Our hearts are profoundly saddened by the unexpected loss of Dr. Glenn Ide. Dr. Ide served our community as a general surgeon since 2018 and played a vital role in bringing new procedures and technological advances to MRMC. He will be greatly missed by his patients, co-workers, and fellow medical staff members. Our prayers and sincerest thoughts are with the Ide family."
The man accused in a stabbing incident at Yamato restaurant Tuesday afternoon is charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. The 70-year-old suspect, Luduan Zhu, works at the restaurant and is being held without bond. A person close to the situation says the 47-year-old victim did not go to the hospital and continued to work Tuesday following the stabbing incident.
So the murder trial tied to the shooting death of a Victoria woman wrapped up just a while ago. On February 19th, 2022, Tanasha Upton was driving a Ford Expedition in the 1100 block of Lova Drive when she stopped at a stop sign. That's when she was fatally shot. Days later, police arrested a 17-year-old Victoria woman and 2 juveniles. They were all charged with murder. One of the juveniles pleaded guilty to manslaughter last week and will serve 20 years in prison. Today, the second juvenile, a 14-year-old boy, sentenced to 20 years. A jury found that teen guilty today. We're working to learn more on where the case of the third defendant stands. 2 women are dead, another critically hurt after a deadly stampede at a concert in Rochester, New York.
It happened Sunday night. People say the crowd rushed to the exits thinking they heard gunshots.
This is a picture of Brandy Miller, taken the night she attended the Glorilla concert at the Main Street Armory in Rochester.
It just got me confused to where somebody can spend their money and buy a ticket to go have a good time, and you buying a ticket for your own death.
Police say Miller died Monday night after being critically injured during a crowd surge at Sunday night's concert. Some people claim they heard gunshots at the venue.
What really hurts is imagining the fear and the panic that was running through her head, you know, when she actually did fall and was feeling all the pressure and the feet on top of her.
Brandy is the middle child of her family. Her brother and sister, Jordan and Michelle, say she wasn't just their sister, but a friend.
Losing her, not having a support system like that moving forward, it's gonna be hard. And I really ain't figure it out or know what to actually think yet. So my sister was a big piece, a big key to my life.
And as her dog Champ waits at the door for Brandy to come home, her family waits for answers.
So I'm not blaming the promoters because they didn't push her on the ground and walk over her. But there's steps in place to prevent negligence in everything you do in life. And that's just that.
Chase Howell, 13 WHAM News.
Wharton police used new technology to capture a suspect Tuesday. Wharton police, with 2 of their unmanned drone pilots, sent a man with a gun call near Riverfront Park in Wharton. Officers used thermal drones with mapping, and they were able to see the scene from nearly 400 feet in the air. The drone pilots guided the officers to where the suspect was hiding. 28-year-old Rico Gonzalez of Wharton is now charged with robbery, theft of a firearm, and for being a felon with a firearm.
2 of the 4 Americans kidnapped in Mexico back in the U.S. One of the survivors, his wife, says was shot 3 times in the legs and is now hospitalized here in Texas. The other 2 were killed in the attack.
That's right. The abduction took place in a region under a level 4 advisory where Americans are told not to travel to.
A road trip for cosmetic surgery turned deadly nightmare. 2 of the 4 Americans kidnapped at gunpoint in Mexico last week, waking up this morning on U.S. soil. The other 2 they were with did not survive.
2 U.S. citizens were returned to the United States. The bodies of 2 other U.S. citizens killed in the same incident were also recovered.
Officials say the group's minivan was crashed into and then fired upon just after crossing into the city of Matamoros. This video showing the moment armed men loaded the group onto a pickup truck Friday. After a manhunt, the 2 survivors, Latavia Tay McGee and Eric Williams, were found in this wooden house outside the city where the abduction happened. Officials say they were moved around to create confusion. McGee found unharmed. Williams, his wife says, with multiple gunshot wounds to the leg.
It was just tears of joy, I guess, that he's alive.
McGee's mom, who says she previously warned her daughter not to travel to Mexico for a cosmetic procedure, emotional over the phone.
I had to hold my heart. I was thanking the Lord. I said, thank you, Jesus, there is a God.
Also recovered from the shack, the bodies of Shaid Woodward and Zindel Brown. Mexican officials believe the incident was a case of mistaken identity. A source telling ABC News the gunman may have targeted the group's vehicle, wrongly believing the Americans were rival human traffickers. Now the Biden administration calling for justice.
We want to see accountability for the violence that has been inflicted on these Americans that tragically led to the death of 2 of them.
Authorities say a man who was in charge of watching the Americans was arrested. And while officials haven't shared how many people they believe are involved in the attack, the investigation is still ongoing. M1, ABC News, Washington.
Whataburger is reducing its corporate workforce and asking employees to return to the office starting this week. The Houston Chronicle reports the San Antonio-based chain says the recent cuts affect less than 0.1% of Whataburger's total workforce of more than 50,000 employees, or less than 50 people.
All right, let's take a look at your first warn storm team forecast with Chief Meteorologist Mac Bettis.
Thank you very much, James. Good afternoon, everybody. Yes, again, look at that. High temperature, 88 degrees, and the 30-year average should be in the 70s. So say goodbye to springtime and hello to summertime, but that's okay because a lot of you are having plans for outdoors, not only this weekend, but next week with spring break. It's going to be really busy. Good news is we've got a little break in the temperatures, and we'll have all that coming up in just a moment.
Mac, thank you. Well, we've known for a while now that bees play a crucial role in our ecosystem, but one local group in Victoria says the bees are way more important than what we originally knew. 25
News Now reporter Darius McCormick says he had a beautiful time finding this out.
Well, guys, I am suited and booted again. This time I met the queen bee and not the one that's crazy in love. We had to suit up before we made our trip to adopt a hive to discuss how the community could keep honeybees alive. Bees continue to face colony collapse disorder, which means the bees are dying or being killed.
I realized how we automatically let's kill the bees when I realized that that's not the approach we need to take. Saving the bees is definitely on my #1, and teaching people about how important they are.
According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, bees pollinate around $15 billion worth of crops a year. The insects are responsible for over 100 fruits, nuts, and vegetables. Potatoes, bell peppers, almonds, and oranges are only a few of the crops honeybees pollinate.
It would just decline the trees, everything. We rely on the bees to keep the world running, in my opinion.
Although the decline of fresh produce would hit us hard, we'd also be without honey. Bees impact our community and agriculture directly, but they could also hurt our economy. The best way to keep bees alive is by calling Adopt a Hive.
If you have any bee issues, give us a call at Adopt a Hive and we'll come out and remove them safely and teach you about what it takes to keep the bees.
They save and restore bees rather than exterminating them. With their restoration, we could save our crops and help save the world's beehive. Reporting in Victoria, I'm Adarius McCormick, KAVU-TV, 25 News Now.
And this, of course, brings us to your viewer poll this afternoon. Scan that QR code on your screen to vote right now live. In what way do you contribute to protecting the honeybee population? By not killing bees, planting trees or flowers, staying chemical-free, building homes for bees, or supporting local beekeepers and organizations like the one we just saw, or all of the above? We want to hear from you. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to participate, and we will have an update for you on 25 News Now at 6. Here's some of the top headlines you can read in the Port Lavaca Wave this week. Travis Middle School and Seadrift School competed in a robotics competition, with Seadrift taking home a 17th place finish. The Memorial Medical Center is outlining new changes, such as their rebranding to Memorial Medical Healthcare System, and the YMCA is offering a new Mommy and Me service for children and their parents. You can read these stories and more at theportlavacawave.com.
Stay with us. Straight ahead on 25 News Now at 5, Attorney General Merrick Garland announcing violations found in a review of the Louisville Police Department.
Also ahead, 2 are dead after an armed robbery attempt at a truck at an international airport in Chile.
Power through your to-do list. And create a space that makes a splash. Get steel trimmers and blowers starting at just $129.99. Real STIHL. Find yours.
This is a meal worth sharing. Right now, get 4 hot and spicy McChicken sandwiches, 20-piece chicken McNuggets, and a basket of fries for $15.99. Only at McDonald's.
Every day we help kids navigate the realities of the world and make healthy, lifelong choices. Kids learn about alcohol, tobacco, and drugs in lots of ways, often from friends and siblings. While kids may hear lots of harmful information, parents do play a huge role in helping them make the right decision. Talking to your child, sitting down to a family meal at night just to discuss how their day went, or encouraging extracurricular activities can make all the difference.
I see a story. What kind of movie are we gonna make? Do you ever find yourself overwhelmed by emotion? And cut.
Where do you say we come in for my close-up now?
The Oscars, live, Sunday on ABC.
2 people are dead after an attempted robbery attack of an armed truck at a Santiago International Airport in Santiago, Chile. An airport security official died Wednesday morning during a confrontation with a group of people trying to steal the truck. According to the prosecutor, one of the robbers also died during the confrontation. The DOJ issued a report on the Louisville Metro Police Department after a nearly 2-year review. The investigation was launched after the botched raid killing 26-year-old Breonna Taylor. The review found police there used excessive force and officers used unreasonable tactics like neck restraints. The report also found the police department executed search warrants without knocking and announcing. The report says Breonna Taylor was just a symptom of problems the police department has had for years.
The department has concluded that there is reasonable cause to believe that Louisville Metro and LMPD engaged in a pattern or practice of conduct that violates the First and Fourth Amendments of the Constitution. There is also reasonable cause to believe that they engage in conduct that violates Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the Safe Streets Act, and the Americans with Disabilities Act.
Garland announced a so-called pattern or practices review of the Louisville department in 2021, 1 year after Taylor's death. The DOJ said today it will conduct a review of the Memphis Police Department in the wake of the deadly police beating of Tyree Nichols. The review will focus on the department's use of force, de-escalation, and specialized units. The planned release of hours more footage in Nicholas's beating death was delayed by court order in response to a motion filed by an attorney for one of the former officers charged. Authorities were also preparing to release records from the city's internal probe into 13 police officers and 4 fire department personnel. The CDC reports more than 37 million adults in the U.S. are estimated to have chronic kidney disease. Many of those people are unaware they have it.
Here are the symptoms and why treating it early is critical.
It's known as a silent killer. In the early stages of kidney disease, many don't feel sick.
You can lose up to 75% of your kidney function before you begin to manifest symptoms.
The CDC says if kidneys don't work well, toxic waste and extra fluid builds up in the body. It can lead to high blood pressure, heart disease, stroke, even early death. Symptoms that can appear in later stages of kidney disease include fatigue, muscle aches, swelling of face, ankles, or hands.
If you're diagnosed early, there are strategies available to keep your kidneys functioning as close to normal as possible, as long as possible.
That's why health experts say to know your risks of kidney disease and talk to your doctor about it.
If they have diabetes or high blood pressure, or a family history of kidney disease, or if they have heart disease, or if they're over 60, they should talk to their healthcare provider to see if they've been tested, and if not, to be tested.
You can also protect your kidney health through a healthy lifestyle. That includes watching your weight, being active, and not smoking. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Allergy-triggering pollen is hitting the southern and eastern U.S. earlier this year than ever before. Waves of pollen are flooding the air and coating everything from car windshields to sidewalks. It comes after an exceptionally warm February in the south and east as part of a trend blamed on climate change. A report today from a nonprofit group called Climate Central found allergy season has gotten longer on average since 1970.
Here are some of the top headlines you can read in the Quail Record this week. The livestock show brought in more than $1 million. The community gathered for the Cuero Time Capsule ceremony. This time the capsule is set to open in the year of 2073. Cuero is preparing for the upcoming elections May 6th. You can read these stories and more at DeWittCountyToday.com. Mac?
Well, thank you very much. You know, that sunshine and warm weather, it's good, right? But like she was talking about, everything's blooming early. So if you're allergic to this pollen stuff, well, let's get ready for it or go get your injections because it's going to be with us for a while. Temperatures again above normal. They'll stay above normal until next week when we finally get a little bit of a break. We'll have all that coming up in just a moment. Stay tuned.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota.
Yeah.
Sick.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know that every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care? A 2-year or 25,000-mile maintenance plan and roadside assistance. That's the value you can expect from Toyota.
Ready, set, go get your Toyota today.
Toyota, let's go places.
Stay up to date with what's happening in the Crossroads by downloading the Crossroads Today mobile app. You'll get instant alerts to your phone or tablet the minute breaking news or weather happens. Only the free Crossroads Today mobile app features weather updates for local sports. The Crossroads Today app gives you the ability to stream our daily newscast when you're on the go and share pictures or tips straight to our newsroom and so much more. Brought to you locally by Prosperity Bank with 12 locations serving the Crossroads area.
Thursday, we gear up for the Oscars. Rihanna's performing. Her baby is not even born yet, and already, that is the hardest working baby in show business.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Chief Meteorologist Maclovio Perez. That's my full name because that's the name my daddy gave me, but everybody calls me Mac. That's my nickname, and all my friends call me Mac. Anyway, as you can see right about here, temperatures again well into the 80s. All this above normal for this time of year is just an early summertime. We can't even call it early spring because these temperatures are running about 10 degrees above average, but that's kind of what we expect. Of course, the winds are also a factor in all of this. They're strong out of the southeast. They're running at about 15, 20 miles an hour in the afternoon hours. That's what we have right about now. And it's not only us, it's pretty much the entire coastal bend, but not up north. Get a load of this right now in the 50s in Dallas, the 50s even in San Angelo. What is that? Well, that is a frontal system right about there, and you say, oh, it's headed in our direction. Not really. It's actually headed in that direction, so we're not going to get any of that, but we do have a little bit of a cool down coming up in the next few days. What we have across the state, of course, is the early summertime here, but it's still winter up to the north. Look at that. The temperatures 40s, 30s, 20s, even in New York City where they're at 44. So we are completely out of whack. We are out of the sync of the rest of the country. They're still dealing with this, but for us, pressures have been so high so early. That's an early sign of summertime arriving. Now, as we can see right about here, we're going to be fair tonight. We're going to future tracker. This is the next few hours. The coastal bend will get cloudy again, and there's that little front coming through. That's the cool air over there now. And then we get really hot, really windy for the weekend before the next big thing arrives. Where is the next big thing? Believe it or not, it's way out here. But watch this. As this little front, that's the one that gave us the cool air north, the warm air south, basically kind of drags to the east. That's a big, heavy, wet winter storm rolling in to the west coast. And by the time we get to Saturday, it'll be over the Rockies. Won't get through our area until about Sunday night maybe. The winds will shift around, and then all of a sudden our temperatures get a lot more reasonable. Taking a look at our marine forecast, and of course there's your high tide, low tide. The afternoon winds are still on the strong gusty side. Over the weekend, the afternoon wind is going to be gusting up maybe even 30 miles an hour. If you're going out boating, just keep that in mind. Go out early when it's kind of calm, but bays will be choppy as of this weekend. So tonight, getting down into the mid 70s for this evening. Our overnight low getting down to about 68, pretty much standard what we've been doing for the past couple of days. Then tomorrow, 84 after the morning clouds, afternoon sun and windy. And here is your 7-day outlook. 84, 83, 85, 90 on Sunday. Then that little cool front can give us about 2 or 3 days of much more reasonable weather around here. That's your 7-day forecast. Don't forget to scan the screen, and that QR code will give you our website that you can put on your phone and take your news, weather, and sports wherever you go. That's your forecast. We'll be back in just a moment.
All right, Mac, thank you so much. So if you get our breaking email newsletters or our push alerts on breaking news, you just got an Amber Alert, an 8-year-old girl missing out of Cold Spring, Texas. You can learn more about that at crossroadstoday.com. Coming up next on 25 News Now at 5, we'll take a look at Wall Street. Plus, in business news, the clock is ticking for TikTok as a group of bipartisan senators unveil a potential TikTok ban.
Join us at First United Methodist Church Sunday mornings at 8:30 on KAVU-TV. But if you're looking for a place to worship in person, We'd love to have you join us here at 8:30 and 10:40 in our sanctuary, or at 11 o'clock with Pastor Amanda in our Ignite Contemporary service. As society gets more and more back to normal, we hope that you'll join us for worship. We were made to worship in community. We pray together, sing together, share in Holy Communion together. Won't you come be the church with us at First United Methodist Church?
This is Ford Truck Month, Texas. Time to get up and get into Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 46 years straight, including Ford F-150 and the all-new Ford Super Duty. Or check out Ford Maverick and Ford Ranger. So get into Ford Truck Month, Texas, and see what a built Ford Tough truck can do for you. There's a great selection in stock. Drive Ford F-150 with 0.9% for 60 months, 0 down, and 0 payments for 90 days, plus complimentary maintenance.
Counterfeit prescription pills laced with fentanyl are killing our kids by the thousands across the nation. The pills look safe. Can you tell which one is real? Drug dealers are pushing these deadly pills on your kids' social media. It only takes one pill to kill. And it did. You can help stop the fentanyl epidemic. Talk to your kids about the dangers of counterfeit prescription pills. Visit onepillkilled.org.
Hello, neighbor. Before you buy a home,
before you sell a home,
before you make any home improvements, call USA Foundation Repair.
A thorough and honest inspection is what you get from USA Foundation Repair.
We work with realtors and contractors on the front line every day doing inspections and repairs. Don't get taken to the train station. Get the USA Foundation Repair brand of approval. Call us today for an honest inspection.
The Victoria Television Group is proud to honor our veterans, and we need your entries. Each month, we'll acknowledge a new veteran to salute. To submit, go to the Military Hero page on crossroadstoday.com and help us recognize the deserving servicemen and women in our community.
Right after the DWI, I lost my license, and I did 30 days in jail. I could have killed him because I decided to be reckless. I have a ton of regrets. I'm Katie. 5 years ago, I got a DWI, and I'm still paying for it every day.
Taking a look at your stocks, the Dow losing 59 points, the S&P up 5 points, and the Nasdaq gains 46 points. Oil down 92 cents, closing at $76.66 a barrel. A bipartisan group of 12 senators have released legislation Tuesday that boosts President Biden's ability to place a nationwide ban on TikTok. The proposed law does not specifically name-check TikTok, but it would give the U.S. more powers against foreign software deemed a national security risk. A TikTok spokesperson issued a statement saying a possible U.S. ban would have a negative impact on free speech rights for Americans. TikTok CEO is scheduled to testify later this month.
Federal safety regulators are investigating Tesla over claims of steering wheels falling off. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration examining the 2023 Model Y SUV. There were 2 instances in which owners reported their steering wheels became detached while operating the vehicle. In those instances, the cars were missing the bolt attaching the steering wheel to the steering column. The agency's report didn't say if there were any crashes as a result of the issue. About 120,000 vehicles on U.S. roads could be affected. Keep it here. We'll take one last look at your forecast with Mac. Australian conservationist Bindi Irwin reveals her 10-year-long battle with endometriosis.
I just wanted a chance to clear the air. Why don't we just leave the air where it is?
I was jealous of you.
The cool drummer girl. You were Karen Carpenter. I get that a lot.
T-Mobile covers 99% of people in America. So when we say we have your town covered, we mean it.
Where I live is a rural area, and the coverage has been awesome.
And great coverage is just the beginning. Families and small businesses can save 20% versus AT&T.
The savings we get allows us to do more things as a family. We're a one-income military family. Saving every month really does help us.
Plus, with our T-Mobile Price Lock, we guarantee we won't raise the price of your rate plan. Switch today.
My name is Adarius McCormick, and I want you to know about my new segment, Homemade with Adarius. I will interview amazing people and showcase intriguing places that may be new to you in the Crossroads. Want to show off something homemade? Email us at homemade@victoriatelevision.com. See my new segment on Crossroads Today YouTube channel and Crossroads Today Plus. You do not want to miss this.
Bindi Irwin is celebrating both International Women's Day and Endometriosis Awareness Month. She revealed she was suffering with this condition, a condition in which the tissue that normally lines the uterus grows outside the uterus. It causes pelvic pain, heavy bleeding during periods, and fertility issues. Doctors found 37 lesions. She said she's on her way to recovery. Endometriosis is most common among women in their 30s and 40s. I'm not gonna lie. Endometriosis, I got through that story.
You did good.
But Matt, we do have time for the weather.
Yeah,
So-
what a transition from endometriosis to weather.
Right.
Well, let me tell you one thing, folks. This coming weekend, this is important to note, that we do the spring forward thing. I know it doesn't feel like spring out there, but it actually is. So Saturday night, spring forward 1 hour, so you won't be late for church on Sunday, okay? I've done that, actually, where I was like, what happened? I missed something here. We're looking at in the mid-70s for this evening. Tomorrow morning we'll get up and we'll be about 68 degrees, still on the warm and windy side right on through the weekend. But as I can show you here on 7-day forecast, there's a glimmer of hope, which I think and I predict will be the last cool front of the season, which will come in Sunday night. Monday will be in the 70s, and that's going to be real delightful for everybody who's on the beach reading Shakespeare and enjoying their spring break.
All right, don't be late. Our next newscast in 30 minutes.